Rob?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Rob's Rogues in the Batman universe. And yes, I'm laughing because I have the Batman animated series Batmobile that I picked up the day after Christmas with some Christmas cash. So thank you, Christmas cash. I don't know how I'm going to shoot this on my review table. You can see the very end of it. There's my little clip that holds my backdrop. It takes up my whole table just a very little bit. I may have to shoot this in a different location, like maybe on my kitchen table or something. Maybe all the beauty shots will be done here. I'm going to be so far away from this thing. I can't reach the box. I'm not even touching the box. It's the edge of the table. So there's the box. This is very cool. This is something I've been wanting for a while. It was nice we had a little bit of cash after Christmas to be able to pick this thing up. I cannot wait to put the figures in it and just to be able to display this wonderful addition to my collection. Most people have seen this box. There's nothing to it for me to really spin it around. I'm not even going to do that. At the top of the box, we'll kind of look at it real quick. It says Batman the Animated Series right there. It's all black. There's no other pictures on it. You see it off to the side. Right there is my side of my backdrop. So without further ado, I mean the box is huge. I mean it's really huge. I don't even think I have anything here to really show you besides we've seen what the 6-inch action figures look like. Here's a quick DC Universe Classics figure that I have sitting up here. So there's Robin. So there's the size of this thing. So it's great that this thing is in scale. So I will get this out of package and I'll probably play with it a little bit before the review. But when we come back, we'll take a look at the Batman animated series Batmobile. There's the back of it. So just a couple little pictures. Of course, you can see working lights. It's gonna be really cool to see this thing all lit up. So we'll get this thing out of package and we'll be right back. How am I going to film this? Alright, here is the Batmobile. I'm having to go handheld here, so I hope I don't film this thing like a drunk monkey where it's like this the whole entire time. I cannot get back far enough in my review space to be able to film this whole thing. This is incredibly huge. I will end up measuring it. I did not bring a tape measure up here, but I will put an annotation probably right here that tells you how long this thing is. It probably said on the box, but the detail, I say the detail, the attention to detail is superb, and there's not much detail to this Batmobile because that's just how it was. It was a very simplistic design for the animated series, but one that has just become so iconic and so cool. I want to say stinking cool. Can I say stinking cool? This is a behemoth and a beauty to own all at the same time. I'm so glad. So you can see my little clip there. I cannot get the whole thing in frame. We're kind of peeking behind the wizard's curtain there. But just so cool. The tires are rubber. They roll really nice. There's the underside. You can see the tread there. So the wheels do turn and rotate a little bit. There's the switch, the on-off switch. 3 AAA batteries house the lights for this thing, which are very impressive and very bright. Nothing on the underside of it at all. The back of it. Hopefully this thing doesn't roll off the table here. It's so cool. And then we'll show the front of it. I apologize about this in advance. So very cool. This is just incredibly huge. And my wife, when I picked this up, she's like, where are you going to put this? And I'm like, I have no idea. I think I have a spot, but the spot I want to put it, I'm going to have to take out like 30-some figures to be able to have this guy sit there. The roof slides back. The inside of the detail, this is really cool. See if I turn a little light on the camera here so you can kind of see. So I want to say that the steering wheel turn. Steering wheel does have, you know, articulation, as Chapman Films would say. So it does rotate back and forth. I thought it was tied into the wheels, but I don't believe that they are. I think the wheels just turn independently, yeah, just by themselves. So there's the cockpit. See the rubber gear shift there, just a rubber little piece. If you've seen ODC's review, it is really hard to show how the seat belt goes in. Your hands end up getting in the way half the time, but they just pin in there. Sorry about that. Into the little slot right over there. There's a seat belt slot right there. This is so cool. So what I'd like to do is I'll turn all the review lights. Turn the review lights off, and let's see this thing glow in the dark. That's what I've been waiting to do. So I will pause it really quick. We will come back, and the room will be nice and dark, and we'll get this thing lit up. All right, are you ready for this? In the dark here. This thing really kind of lights up the room. So here, let's get this down into view here. So there are the headlights of the Batmobile coming straight for you. And this is really kind of bright. It's really kind of illuminating the room. It really can't tell here, but the back, you can see how it's kind of glowing off the nice back red backdrop back there. But how cool is that? ODC said it in his review that it's a much warmer tone to the lights in person. The camera is really kind of doing this weird optical, you know, J.J. Abrams is filming this part of the review with all the lens flare and everything going on. But that is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Cool part, let's go handheld here again. You can kind of see the lights right here inside the dash. If you pull the hood back, you see inside the cockpit. So I'll put Batman and Robin, or Batman and Nightwing, or whomever there. But if I can get back from the table, kind of see the lights up there ahead. The camera's really kind of washing it out. It really is making the lights. It's not doing it justice. You really have to see this in person to get the full effect. It's really, you can see the other side of the room over here. I have a bass drum setting off to the side. You can see it says Pearl Drums right there, Pearl. So there's my CD cabinets right off to the side. So it's lighting up the room, actually really pretty cool. And the front of the headlights here as well are kind of lighting up this other side, which I don't know if you can kind of see. There's my animated series case right there for the original animated series. So this is really cool, a very, very cool feature. So what I'll do is I will turn the lights back on this thing. I'll pause the camera because I don't want to wash out the footage right here for you. So I'll be back in just a second. Got the lights back on here, and as you can see, I have the original 1992 Batman animated series Batmobile right here. And I used to think this thing was rather large, but it is like little baby. Like cars are girls, so it's like mom and daughter are now going to drive around Gotham City and bust some heads. And I like that they went with the black, that the car, I think the car normally in the cartoon was a deeper blue, but I'm glad they went black with it. The blue looks a little odd here, and you can see how Kenner used to do some of their stuff. Put the, you know, little sticker on the top, and some other little gimmicks. You know, there were no lights, So you can see it's very, you know, the gray that is normally supposed to be on the front is not there. It is gray here, and these do move back and forth. They never really did anything. This one had the pop out like spikes, which that would have been kind of cool if they would have done that there, a little bit of extra. But this is more, you know, gimmicky, and they kind of kept this more simplistic. The other gimmick for this one is the rocket that comes out, or the little airship thing here, which, you know, kind of comes out. So that's not there in the new version. And it's a one-seater, which I always wanted to put Batman and Robin out in a Batmobile together. And there's only one other Batmobile that does do that. And I'll kind of bring it up too. So very, very cool. Here is the other 6-inch Batmobile that I have. Now I do have the Mattel 1966 Batmobile for the 1966 Batman figures that they made from the TV series last year. I reviewed it at Christmas time last year. It is up on a shelf, and I don't have it in close reach for this review. It is around the same size as this particular Batmobile, maybe just a touch longer. But this was for the 2003 Batman line that preceded the DC Superheroes line, so it kind of morphed into the DC Superheroes and then became Batman Universe, or Batman, DC Universe Classics from Mattel. So the Classics figures don't fit in here. Of course, these parts come up so you can get the figures in a little bit easier, but it's really designed for the 2003, so it's a really specific figure that has to be able to fit in this particular Batmobile. But you can see the size here, and I thought this was a large, again, a large vehicle at the time, but you know, tip to tip, it's pretty close in length. You know, the animated series has a much longer front housing than, you know, most cars would. So in relative scheme, they are pretty close in size. You know, granted, we have these extra fins coming off here, but just another little Batmobile to be able to show you a size comparison. I'm going to show you the back here real quick, which is really kind of hard to see here. I got the lights on, so you can see there's an extra fin right here in the center. So you have the two earpieces that are up here, the two main fins off to the side, which are both here, and these were for the little ship that's inside of that Batmobile. And, you know, of course, it was back in the days of stickers and, you know, no real lights. You wouldn't get a lit up Batmobile until the 1994 Batman Forever Batmobile, and I don't think mine lights up anymore. So I wanted to be able to kind of show you that. And just kind of looking at it from this way, let me go handheld again here. Apologize. Just look at the size of the two. They're kind of hanging off the table here. And here's Batman, the new Batman Adventures Batman with the Batman Animated Series Batmobile. I haven't picked up the proper Batman Animated Series Batman yet. I'd kind of like to pick up the Batman Phantasm 2-pack if I'm going to pick up that Batman. I've got Robin here from the animated series. And then I've got Robin here from the animated series. And making his first review, and I don't think I'm going to get to his review until 2016, is Nightwing here. So just because he is now making an appearance, I'm going to include him for eligibility in the top 10. I don't know if he'll make it or not. I've already filmed his review. I just think I'm going to run out of time. I don't think I'm going to be able to get 4 videos up in one day to be able to qualify him. But since he's making an appearance right now, I'm going to say sure. So I'll kind of put them in here so you can kind of see. The Tim Drake Robin, he really could benefits from having a seat belt on him. I do have him in the other Robin cape here. If he had his little Robin cape on, he would probably sit a little bit better in this Batmobile. But since he is such a tiny figure, he does kind of flop around in the Batmobile a little bit. So putting the seatbelt on him does I think helps hold him in here. You don't need to, but he doesn't want to sit up as well. And again, I think part of that is just because of the longer cape here. So it is a little painstaking. It takes a little bit to get them in there. So just for the sake of moving the review along, I'll get them placed in, and then you can kind of see them already sitting in there without me wasting time trying to
All right, here is Batman in here. I want to show this. There is this little ridge over here in the passenger seat right here. I got my thumb in. I believe this is where the Tim Drake Robin's cape goes in, and Batman's might be the same way. But I do have the Tim Drake Robin and the Dick Grayson cape. So I think because that's a small cape, it's designed to go down in that groove, so Robin sits better in place. It is so hard to get the seat belts around them. I don't see me using them. I still have not got the seat belt in there with one figure, so it's rather awkward. So he kind of just sits and kind of lays in here. I mean, it works. So you can kind of see Batman and Robin in there, which is very cool. Turn this light off here. And there they are there in the cockpit. They look really cool, and I like that the whites of their eyes and their masks and cowls are a white that makes them really pop into like the black light there. So like I said, the Tim Drake Robin kind of floats around in there. I probably could put the other cape on him, and I think he would set in much better. So what I'll do real quick, I'll put in the Dick Grayson Robin, and we'll see what he looks like in there. He'll probably sit much better. And there's the Dick Grayson Robin. He's sitting in there much better. He's still kind of hovering in there a little bit. Still very, very cool. So we can take it a step farther with Dick Grayson here. Can put in Nightwing. So as you can kind of tell, my big dumb hands there. Nightwing does float around a little bit in there. Kind of like Robin does. So it'd probably benefit from having the seatbelt on him, but it's just such a pain to put the seatbelt in. But from what I'm going to do with it, you know, being able to do this. Batman and Nightwing riding together. I'm kind of wondering to take it just a step farther here, just kind of show some different stuff. Okay, 10 minutes later, I have Nightwing and Robin in the Batmobile with their seatbelts, and that was a pain in the rear to do. It's a cool little feature. I wish there was a better way. I almost kind of wish the cockpit slid out like the original animated series did, like out through the back, so you could at least have set them in better, or maybe this whole thing kind of flip open. I'm really kind of afraid that this could pop open or pop off or break off while I'm trying to get in there. So I'm probably not going to put them in their seat belts. I think it'll be easier to get Robin in a seat belt and then put Batman in. I don't think he's really going to need it that much. This is a 6-inch scale Batmobile. So I'm wondering if I could get my Arkham figures in this Batmobile. Okay, no, not so much. The Arkham City Batman can get into a seated position, but his leg stance is a little too big to be able to sit down in there. Yeah, he got in there a little bit. Actually, not too bad. So he's kind of in there. So if I took the cape off, I had a hard time getting this bunched around him. That's what was causing him. So he can sit in there. That's actually not too bad. I do have a second one of these. So if I wanted to put a cloth cape on the original version of this Batman, this is the Bruce Wayne 5-pack Batman. It makes me wonder if I can do that with somebody else. Again, the same thing here with the new 52 Batman. I would imagine the Greg Capullo Batman could fit in here as well. So maybe a little finagling with the cape. If I was one of those people with like, oh, I only want cloth capes on, it might work. So, just an idea. So from a new 52 figures to other DC Collectibles 6-inch, as long as they can get into a seated position, they will fit in the Batmobile. So that's actually kind of cool. Final thoughts on this car. Wow. I hope this video did this car justice. It's really hard to get everything all in frame and to be able to really appreciate the size of this thing. It is worth every penny that you pay for it. I got this one for about 80 bucks as well. I think 86, I think, is what I paid for it from a local comic shop that I go to. Definitely worth it. It was like, this of a TIE Fighter. Batmobile. Batmobile. I'm so happy to have it, and I'm so happy to have the problem of going, where am I going to put this thing? This is a definite must-have. If you're a Batman fan, a Batmobile fan, an animated series fan, a 6-inch action figure collector that would love to put a action figure in here, the DC Universe Classics with the hard plastic cape are not going to fit in here. The more soft rubber pliable capes or cloth caped figures will sit better in this Batmobile, and you saw a couple. I think if I finagled the cape a little bit more, it might work. And if you're somebody that takes off the plastic capes and puts on cloth capes, then it'll work even better for you. I cannot say enough good things about this. I'm telling you right now, this piece is going to be in my top 10 for 2015. That DC Collectibles built something like this just makes me go, what else in the future could they possibly do vehicle-wise? There is the new Batman Adventures Batmobile. Would we get a Batmobile for this Batman and this Robin? So it'll be really interesting to see what DC Collectibles do. Even if they don't do another Batmobile, this is one to get. So if you're on the fence about this thing, get off the fence, jump on the other side. You will not regret this purchase. I think this is a fantastic piece to own. Today we've been taking a look at the Batman Animated Series Batmobile by DC Collectibles. And as always, this is Rob for Rob's Rogues and the Batman Universe signing off saying we will see you guys next year.